Tim, I think the conference is amazing. I mean, having so many different people from the industry come. I think the topic this year was very wide, difficult to talk to, I think, as a presenter. But I think it really brought up a lot of issues that are shaping the industry, really looking at different things, expanding our minds, trying to think about disruption, artificial intelligence, and really thinking how it's going to impact really our businesses and our customers in the future. So I think it's a good topic. It's been a good debate. So I think parts of it have hit us already. I mean, the fourth industrial revolution, really talks to having connected systems together. So at the moment, we're close on having 100 billion devices that are connected together. It talks to machine interaction, which is the Internet of Things. And one of the statistics we put up on our presentation is that an expectation next year is that there's going to be $370 billion of investment into the Internet of Things. So I think it's here. It's the application, and it's what else are we going to use with it? It'll probably take another 1, 2, or 3 years, but it's definitely here, and I think it's traveling at warp speed, and the pace of change is going to be exceptional. I think what I really wanted to highlight is that the presentation spoke a lot about the World Economic Forum's Global Risk Report that Marsh is a partner of. And again, a lot of the conversation in the last few days was around IT and disruption and artificial intelligence. But in today's world, you really got to think about all the global risks and how they interconnect. So really the presentation was talking a little bit around some of the societal risks, the governmental risks, the environmental risks, and how all of those link together. What turmoil it's created in 2016. So we had a lot of political issues, obviously, such as the Brexit and Trump. We've had a lot of terrorist implications. There's been a lot of violence. There's been public politics. So the world is really changing, and how that interplay over the next 10 years is going to change globally, and then how the fourth industrial revolution really overlays it. So it was really picking up that conversation, and then ending off a little bit with about how can brokers and risk management professionals inside their own industries prepare themselves for the change that's coming, and what do they need to think about. For brokers, and really I think it comes down to 3 key things. I think it talks to data, it talks to distribution, and it talks to capital. And again, if you look at an organization like Marsh, obviously we're a global organization. We're in 140 countries, 400 offices, 25,000 people. So it's a big organization, and across that, you've got to think about the different components of your business as it relates to data, distribution, and capital. So I think if you're focusing on large corporate customers, where Marsh is particularly strong, it really then talks to understanding, adding value to clients, being a trusted risk advisor. And I guess there, clients become less concerned who the capital providers are. And we're seeing a lot of interest in terms of creating alternative capital, working with different capital providers. So clients will look to the broker to say, well, tell me how I can structure my insurance program, who should I place it with? But they're less concerned per se who the capital provider is. And I think that's been a shift in the last few years, which is different. And then when you talk to data and distribution, you're really talking to the mid-market, the individual consumer. How do we change the way we interact with consumers from a retail point of view? And that's really distribution, different forms of distribution, whether it's apps. I think the olden days of having offices all over the world and the country might potentially change. And then how do you use that data? Traditionally, my personal view has always been that intermediaries, let's say in the early 1900s, were in a unique position in that they knew more information about their clients than the insurers, and they knew more about the client than the insurer. Or did I say that? So they knew more about the insurance market than their clients. So they could bring that asymmetric information together and really add value to their customers. I think over time, as data has exploded globally, I think everyone can get access to that information. And it's really heightened the challenge for brokers to really understand their client's business, and drive for solutions and add value rather than just simply bringing 2 parties together. I think it's going to come to specific application. Again, artificial intelligence works well where there's massive amounts of data that the system can learn and understand quite quickly. Human beings have got that intelligence, they've got that processing power, but we can't operate at the level of an AI system. So again, you look at an example, so the NHS currently, I think they process 1 million patients every 36 hours. If you think that amount of information to analyze, look at the reports, analyze what's wrong with the patient, determine what to do next, and try to solve for that. It's a massive challenge. And again, that's where AI can particularly work well to take all those tests, take all those results, analyze them in an hour or two, as opposed to 2 or 3 days for what we've traditionally done. So I think you'll see pockets there where AI will come to play. And at the moment, there is a project that the NHS has implemented with a company called DeepMind, and they're doing exactly that. So I think you will see it in some aspects sooner rather than later. For the simple things, whether you want to have a relatively easy system for it to learn, it can pick it up. But I think fundamentally it will add value in that it can crunch numbers at a much greater speed than we humanly possible to do.